The sun climbs over rows of modest American houses with white fences and neatly trimmed lawns. You can hear sprinklers ticking rhythmically, neighbors sipping coffee on their porches in plaid pajamas. The air smells like fresh-cut grass mixed with the faint aroma of pancakes drifting from kitchen windows. A wide street stretches in front, empty except for a few parked cars and a golden retriever napping lazily by the curb. Standing in the middle of the driveway is Ethan Miller, a 12-year-old boy with messy brown hair tucked under a slightly oversized baseball cap. He wears a red t-shirt with Cleveland Indians printed across the front, jean shorts, and worn-out sneakers. His bicycle, brand new, shining blue with a hint of stubbornness, leans against the fence. His father, Robert Miller, in khaki cargo shorts and a faded, Ohio State Buckeyes, hoodie, sips coffee from a large travel mug. He watches with the look of a man both proud and bracing for trouble. In every small American town, there's a driveway where battles are fought, not with swords or shields, but with training wheels and scraped knees. Ethan Miller's driveway was about to be one of those legendary arenas. For him, this wasn't just about learning to ride a bicycle. It was about finding balance in more ways than one. The sun, the silence, the quiet hum of sprinklers, everything felt like the world was holding its breath for his first wobble into freedom. Ethan grips the handlebars tightly, his knuckles whitening. "Dad," he mutters nervously, "what if I fall?" Robert chuckles. "Son, you will fall. That's part of the job description." Ethan squints at the bike like it's plotting against him. You see, fear has a funny way of dressing up as logic. "What if I fall?" is really another way of saying, "What if I fail?" And in every backyard, every neighborhood, someone has to learn the answer the hard way. Robert slaps the seat, encouraging. "Hop on. Let's see what you've got." The boy sighs, places one sneaker on the pedal, and awkwardly swings the other leg over. The bike wobbles instantly like a drunk uncle at a wedding. The dog across the street lifts his head, as if to watch the show. Ethan pushes off, his legs jerking stiffly, the bike swerving dangerously close to Mrs. Henderson's mailbox, decorated with plastic sunflowers. The wheels rattle on the asphalt, his helmet sliding slightly sideways. Robert jogs behind him, one hand on the back of the seat. Neighbors begin to notice. Mrs. Henderson, watering her petunias in a wide straw hat, pauses. Mr. Clark, wearing sweatpants and holding his morning newspaper, leans on his mailbox like he just found his entertainment for the day. Within seconds, Ethan tips to the left. His foot misses the ground, and the bike collapses with a clatter. He lands on the grass, arms flailing like a rag doll. Silence. Then Mrs. Henderson yells cheerfully, "That's one. Only 1,000 more to go, sweetie." Robert laughs, but quickly masks it with encouragement. "You're okay, champ. Grass stains build character." Ethan groans dramatically, inspecting his elbow for non-existent injuries. "I think my leg is broken." Robert smirks. "If you can complain, you can still ride. Falls are funny things. To the one falling, they feel like disasters. To the people watching, they're usually comedy shows. Somewhere between the pain of embarrassment and the absurdity of the crash lies the secret lesson. It's never as bad as you think." Neighbors laugh, parents cheer, and the world keeps spinning, waiting for you to get back up. Robert helps Ethan up, dusts him off, and sets the bike upright again. Ethan frowns but climbs back on. Mrs. Henderson hollers, "Keep at it, champ. Balance is just practice pretending you know what you're doing." Ethan grins slightly at that, despite the sun now blazes high, cicadas buzz from oak trees lining the street. Shadows grow short. The black asphalt shimmers with heat waves. A few kids with water guns run across lawns, soaking each other and squealing. Ethan is back on the bike, this time pedaling harder. Robert jogs behind, breath already getting short. Sweat drips down his forehead, staining the collar of his hoodie. The bike swerves dangerously, but Ethan manages a few feet on his own. His eyes widen, he's actually doing it. Then suddenly, he panics. His brain forgets how brakes work. He crashes straight into Mr. Clark's recycling bin, sending soda cans clattering like a marching band gone wrong. Mr. Clark claps sarcastically. "Well, if the NFL doesn't work out, demolition derby's always hiring." Ethan, red-faced, pushes the bike off him. "I can't do this, Dad. It's impossible." Robert breathes heavily, crouches beside him. "Listen, Ethan. Impossible just means you haven't done it yet. Nobody learned to ride a bike by standing on the porch. You fall, you rise, you try again. That's the deal. Every street in America has heard these words at some point. Fathers, mothers, uncles, and aunts, passing down the gospel of perseverance. Balance is not a gift, it's a stubborn agreement between gravity and determination. And sometimes, it takes a bruised knee and a bruised ego to sign that agreement. Ethan looks at the bike, then at his dad, then at the wide open street stretching ahead. He sighs, determined. Fine. One more try. Now the shadows stretch long again. The cicadas quiet down, replaced by the distant sound of a lawnmower. The air cools, and the smell of barbecue drifts from someone's backyard. Ethan is back on the bike. This time, Robert doesn't hold the seat. He jogs alongside for a moment, then lets go without saying a word. The bike wobbles, jerks left, then right. Ethan panics for a second, but then his feet find rhythm. Pedal after pedal, he moves forward on his own. The wind lifts his cap, nearly blowing it off. For a whole 30 seconds, he rides straight, balanced, free. From across the street, Mrs. Henderson claps like she's at a Broadway show. Mr. Clark whistles. Even the dog barks approvingly. Ethan realizes he's doing it, he's riding. His smile splits wide, joy exploding on his face. And then, he hits a tiny crack in the road. The front wheel twists. He goes down in a heap again, rolling into the grass. Robert rushes over, worried. But Ethan sits up, breathing hard, then bursts out laughing. I did it. Did you see me? I actually rode it. Robert's eyes soften. He laughs too, pulling his son into a quick hug. And there it is, the first taste of progress. The ride may be short, the fall inevitable, but the victory? Oh, that's eternal. For in that brief, wobbly ride, a kid feels the whole world open up. Freedom, speed, independence, the magic of balance finally found. And even if the crash comes right after, the smile lingers. Because once you've tasted success, no fall can take it away. The sun sets slowly behind the rooftops, painting the sky orange and pink. Ethan, grass-stained and sweaty, looks at his bike differently now, not as an enemy, but as a challenge he's finally learning to conquer. The next morning brings a fresh shine to the neighborhood. The asphalt is darkened by last night's drizzle, little puddles glimmering like mirrors. The air smells like wet earth and coffee drifting from open kitchen windows. Across the street, the American flag on Mrs. Henderson's porch flutters gently in the breeze. Ethan stands in the driveway again, jeans swapped for gray basketball shorts and a fresh blue hoodie. His sneakers squish a little from yesterday's wet grass. The bike, still a little muddy, waits for him with stubborn patience. Robert appears with his coffee mug, this time wearing a t-shirt that says, "World's okayest dad." He grins. Ready for round 2? Ethan nods nervously, tightening his helmet strap. This time, the neighborhood kids gather. Lily, a girl with braids and a neon green scooter, and Marcus, a tall, lanky teen with a skateboard, stand nearby. Even Mr. Clark has dragged a lawn chair out to his driveway, holding a can of root beer like it's game day. Mrs. Henderson, in her floral apron, shouts across the street, "Don't worry, honey, if you fall again, I've got band-aids with smiley faces on them." Ethan groans. Great, now the whole town's here to watch me wipe out. Robert claps his shoulder. Son, sometimes the world does watch you fail. But that's what makes getting up worth it. Crowds make falls scarier. They turn wobbles into performances and crashes into headlines, at least in your head. But here's the truth. Most audiences aren't rooting for you to fail. They're waiting, eager, to cheer when you finally get it right. And nothing tastes sweeter than applause after a stumble. With shaky determination, Ethan grips the handlebars, pushes off, and pedals down the street. The sky brightens as Ethan picks up speed. The bike wobbles at first, but he steadies it. His sneakers pump the pedals, his hoodie flutters in the breeze. He's doing it, riding longer than before, passing mailboxes, lawns, and barking dogs. The kids on the curb cheer. Lily shouts, "Go, Ethan, go." Marcus slaps his skateboard against the pavement like a drumroll. Mr. Clark even stands, clapping his hands. Ethan's face glows with joy. "I'm doing it, Dad. Look at me." But as he nears the end of the block, something changes. A tiny voice of overconfidence sneaks in. He tries to take one hand off the handlebars, like he's seen older kids do. Bad move. The front wheel jerks wildly, the bike tips, and Ethan crashes spectacularly into a patch of soggy grass near the park sign. Mud splatters across his shorts, streaking his hoodie. The crowd gasps, then laughs good-naturedly. Robert jogs over, out of breath. "What were you thinking?" Ethan groans, wiping mud off his cheek. "I just wanted to look cool." Robert chuckles, helping him up. "Cool comes later, buddy. First comes balance. Pride has its own gravity, it pulls us down faster than anything else. The moment we think we've mastered it, life throws in a bump, a crack, a lesson waiting to be learned. The trick isn't avoiding pride, it's laughing when it knocks you into the mud and climbing back on anyway." Ethan looks at his muddy clothes, then at the cheering crowd. Instead of sulking, he smirks. "Guess I gave everyone a show." The neighbors clap louder, approving his humor. Later that day, Robert and Ethan walk their bikes to the nearby park. The path curves gently under tall oak trees, leaves rustling softly in the breeze. Joggers pass by in athletic gear, earbuds in, waving politely. Parents push strollers, kids chase frisbees, and the smell of grilled hot dogs wafts from a picnic area. Ethan, still grass-stained, rides slowly beside his dad, trying to find steadiness on the smoother path. Robert pedals beside him, calm and steady. "You know, I fell a lot too when I was your age," he says. Ethan looks surprised. "Really? You?" Robert laughs. "Oh yeah. First time I rode, I went straight into Mrs. Miller's rose bushes. Worst thorns in the state of Ohio. Took me a week to get the scratches out." Ethan laughs so hard he almost loses balance. "Seriously?" Robert nods. "Yep. And you know what your grandpa said to me? Balance takes practice. And every scar's a reminder that you're learning. Lessons aren't just learned, they're inherited. Passed down through generations like secret recipes and embarrassing stories. What one man learns through scratches and bruises, he hands down as encouragement. That's how families grow stronger, not by avoiding the falls, but by sharing the laughter that comes after." Ethan steadies himself, pedals smoothly for nearly a full minute. He smiles proudly. Robert claps lightly. "That's it, son. That's balance. Keep going." And for the first time all day, Ethan feels not just like a boy learning to ride, but like a rider. The evening glows gold as the sun sets behind the rooftops. The whole neighborhood seems to gather, Mrs. Henderson with a tray of lemonade, Mr. Clark with his root beer, kids lined up with scooters and skateboards. Even the golden retriever takes his spot by the curb, tail wagging. Ethan sits on his bike at the top of the street. His shorts are still grass-stained, his elbows still sore, but his eyes burn with determination. Robert gives him a thumbs up. Ethan pushes off. The bike wobbles, but only slightly. He steadies it, pedaling strong, coasting straight down the block. The crowd erupts in cheers. He rides past the mailboxes, past the lawns, past the puddles glimmering with the last sunlight. The wind rushes against his face, his hoodie flaps behind him like a cape. This time, he doesn't fall. He rides the whole length of the street, turns around shakily, and makes it back. The neighborhood explodes in applause. Lily and Marcus high-five. Mrs. Henderson shouts, "That's my boy," even though he's not hers. Mr. Clark raises his can like a toast. Ethan jumps off, breathless, grinning ear to ear. "I did it. I really did it." Robert pulls him into a proud hug. "Yes, you did. And you'll never forget it." In every American town, on every street, there's a kid who learns that balance isn't just about bicycles. It's about life. Falls are not failures, they're practice. Scrapes are not scars, they're stories. And every shaky ride forward is proof that progress is possible. Ethan Miller learned today what we all must learn eventually: balance takes practice, but the ride makes it worth it. The camera in our mind's eye pulls back, sunset glowing, the neighborhood clapping, a boy standing proudly with his bike. A perfect slice of American life, wrapped in laughter, perseverance, and a brand new sense of freedom.
Like and subscribe if you want to be happy and motivate.